Keyboards with keys that light up are helpful to beginners who get lost finding the right notes to play. I have here two of the best 61 key keyboards with key lighting systems from two of the biggest manufacturers of portable keyboards. In today's video, I will let the Yamaha EZ300 and Casio LK-S450 slug it out in the ring, and we'll see who will emerge as the undisputed champion with the most points. You can find my in-depth review for both these keyboards in the description below. As at the time of this video, the street price of the Yamaha EZ300 is around $30 or 10% cheaper than the Casio LK-S450. Who doesn't like to pay less? For this round, Yamaha gets a point for being cheaper. As always, you can check out the latest price in the description below after this video. While both keyboards have 61 full-size keys, the key action and key tops cannot be more different. The keys on the Casio are inclined towards piano players. The LK-S450 has box-shaped semi-weighted keys which are stiffer and are great for playing piano and electric piano tones, as the keys provide a little bit more resistance. However, for all other sounds such as saxophones, trumpets, flutes, guitars and synth, the synth action keys on the EZ300 are better. The key surface of the EZ300 is also smooth and glossy versus the matte micro-textured key tops of the Casio tone, which I personally prefer. For those who are fussy about key noise, do note that the Yamaha has a much louder key noise compared to the Casio. For this round, both keyboards get a point as they each have their advantage. The Yamaha EZ300 comes with 622 tones, whereas the Casio LK-S450 comes with 600 tones. Both keyboards support dual voice layers, keyboard voice splits, as well as the functionality to independently adjust the volume mix of each voice layer. The Casio has a large selection of acoustic and electric pianos, organ, EDM, as well as ethnic instruments. The Yamaha, on the other hand, excels with their acoustic instruments voices such as saxophones, flutes, guitars, harmonicas, and accordions. While the EZ300 may not have as many piano, organ, or electric piano voices, what it has is excellent, and I didn't feel the need to have more. Yamaha introduced their Super Articulation Light technology with the EZ300, and the articulation button is great for precise control of when you want the sample to switch for the guitars, flutes, saxophones, and brass voices. Casio, on the other hand, has their own velocity switching samples, for example, their guitars and brass instruments. That being said, I do wish the Casio had more velocity switch samples. In this category, I'm giving Yamaha a point as it not only has more voices, but the voices in the EZ300 sound great right out of the box without the need for any further tweaking. You can find my list of recommended keyboards, digital pianos, and music learning apps in the description below. While voices are the bread and butter functionality of any keyboard, quality effects such as digital signal processors, arpeggiators, as well as note harmonies are what makes ordinary sound samples come alive. The Yamaha EZ300 comes with 38 DSPs such as amp simulations, rotary speakers, and distortion, which can be assigned to any sound. The Casio has DSPs too. However, the DSP effects on the Casio are baked right into the specific sounds. You do not get the option to change to a different DSP or even to vary the amount of DSP effect applied. I am further disappointed that Casio did not include an arpeggiator or a melody harmonizer to thicken up your melody playing, whereas Yamaha has 150 arpeggiator patterns and 26 harmony types built right in. As such, it is clear that the Yamaha EZ300 is much better than the Casio LK-S450 in this round and gets a well-deserved point. Both these keyboards are arrangers, allowing you to play live with chords, triggering an accompaniment, making your performance a lot more lively, groovy, and dynamic. Casio has included 200 rhythms with the LK-S450 with the option of loading an additional 10 third-party rhythms you can download off the internet. The Yamaha EZ300 on the other hand has 5 more rhythms. In addition to the 205 built-in rhythm accompaniment styles on the Yamaha, you can also load 10 additional third-party styles from the internet. For each style, both keyboards have an intro, ending, 2 rhythm variations, and 2 rhythm fills, making them equally capable. In my opinion, Casio has more contemporary styles, however, Yamaha styles are better programmed with smoother transitions between style variations and fills. It is no surprise that Yamaha EZ300 gains a point here. If you want to learn how to play with chords and rhythm accompaniment, I have developed a best-selling beginner keyboard course. You can find out more at jeremyc.com after this video, link in the description. An important functionality of arranger keyboards is the chord detection mode when playing with styles. It is disappointing that Yamaha only supports 2 modes, the fingered and smart chord mode. In my opinion, the smart chord mode is just too restrictive and I haven't found any reason to use it with any of my students. Casio, on the contrary, has included 6 different chord detection modes, including the support for slash chords. For those who use their keyboards to take the Trinity College of London keyboard exams, it is a no-brainer. The Yamaha EZ300 just doesn't meet the minimum requirements for many of the grades. For this, Casio gets a point. Keylights are not very useful unless paired with a good onboard lesson feature. Both the EZ300 and LK-S450 have very similar lesson features built right in. Yamaha gives you 202 songs, whereas Casio gives you just 160 songs. While both can load additional songs, most students will be using the onboard songs for the lessons. Both systems use a 3-step method, and the keyboard will evaluate your progress and give you a score based on how well you perform. Both keyboards allow you to mark out difficult phrases for repeated practice in a loop. Yamaha has a chord dictionary feature that teaches you how to play chords, and Casio has the similar chord book. However, Yamaha excels by having 3 additional lesson modules, which is invaluable for those who want to learn more. The Yamaha EZ300 has a touch tutor, which trains the student to modulate and control their key touch. There's also chord study, where the keyboard teaches you how various chord inversions affect the harmony of a song. Do not confuse this with the chord dictionary, which merely shows you how to play it. The chord progression lesson on the Yamaha also teaches you how to listen and identify common chord sequences used in many popular music. While Casio may argue that they have the Kodana app, it does require the student to have access to a tablet and to have suitable cables before it is useful. As such, I don't think anyone will disagree with me that Yamaha wins when it comes to onboard built-in lessons. Both the EZ300 and LK-S450 are powerful keyboards. However, you must be able to save your own voice and rhythm registrations that you painstakingly configured. And here is the Achilles heel of the Casio. Where the Yamaha EZ300 has 9 user registration slots, the Casio LK-S450 has just 4. Yes, you can only save 4 user registration, and for this, Yamaha gets the point. Both keyboards allow you to record up to 5 of your own performances internally. However, on the Casio, you can record up to 5 tracks, whereas the EZ300 comes with a very basic 2-track recorder. If the story ends here, it is clear that Casio wins this round. However, because the Yamaha has a built-in USB audio interface, you can use Yamaha's innovative Record and Share app on your smartphone. With this app, all you need is a USB cable and you can record clean and pure digital audio together with video on your smartphone at the same time. You can then directly share the high-fidelity digital audio or video via WhatsApp, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or Messenger. This feature itself is a massive selling point which even very expensive pro keyboards do not have. Sorry Casio, but Yamaha beats you here. I have a video tutorial on how to use Yamaha's Record and Share app. I will link it in the description. On paper, both the Yamaha EZ300 and Casio LK-S450 have almost identical speaker system. The speakers on both keyboards are driven by a 5 watts amplifier. At max volume, the Yamaha is a little louder. However, because the Casio LK-S450 has a bass port, the frequency separation is clearer and more distinct. As such, Casio gets a point in this round. Casio has gone for a minimalist concept when it comes to the instrument panel. The LK-S450 relies on a context-aware backlit LCD screen to get to most features. The Yamaha, on the other hand, has 300% more buttons than the Casio, and my user experience cannot be more different. With fewer buttons, selecting voices, rhythms, and functions just take more steps and more button presses than necessary. Many things which can be performed with a single press on the Yamaha EZ300 aren't as straightforward on the Casio. Less is more just isn't applicable when it comes to buttons on keyboards. Take for example selecting a tone or rhythm. You have to go to the correct category on the LCD and turn the dial to get to a tone. On the Yamaha, you just punch the number on the keypad that correspond to that tone, which is so much easier. One gripe I have with the Yamaha EZ300 is that because it has become so advanced, there are many features in the function button, and getting to a specific function can take quite a number of button presses, but this isn't something one would use too regularly. The Yamaha wins this round when it comes to ease of use. The Casio LK-S450's trump card is portability. There is no competition here. While both keyboards can run on AA batteries in addition to a power outlet, the Yamaha is significantly bigger than the Casio and also weighs more. In addition, the Casio comes with a carry handle as well as strap pins, so you can attach a guitar strap and carry your Casio around like a guitar. Casio wins the portability round. With the main features out of the way, there are a few more advantages the Casio LK-S450 has. The Casio has a microphone input and the Yamaha doesn't. With an optional adapter, the Casio supports wireless Bluetooth, MIDI, and audio. Yamaha doesn't have any wireless functionality. There is no doubt that the Yamaha EZ300 is not only 10% cheaper, but a more superior keylighting keyboard, scoring 9 points versus Casio's score of 6 points. Nonetheless, the Casio is a better choice if ultra portability is important to you or if you intend to use your keyboard to take your keyboard exams. The white color of the EZ300 might also be a deal breaker for you if you prefer the traditional black color of the Casio LK-S450. Do check out the latest prices as well as my list of recommended keyboards, digital pianos, and music learning apps in the description below. You can also find my comprehensive in-depth video review for each of these keyboards in the description. I hope you found this keyboard battle useful. My name is Jeremy C, and I'll see you in my next video.